to another episode, everyone, and we're continuing with the Tupac murder trial. Check this out. As a detective who was investigating Biggie Smalls' murder testifies. Everything is coming out now in this trial. Everything is being exposed as to what happened and perhaps who did what. Again, even with the notorious B.I.G. in his situation, well, we already saw Keefy D saying that he believed that Suge Knight and them was behind Tupac's murder, that he put the Compton police up to killing Tupac while he was sitting there in the car with them. And he alluded to Biggie Smalls' murder as well and said that Reggie Wright Jr. had committed the murder, or him and his crew, some other Pyrus had committed the murder on Biggie Smalls. But what says the detective who was investigating this?
The party stipulates for the presence of the jury.
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
You may be seated. All right, now the state can call their next witness.
Darren Dupree.
The state. So he for the prosecution. This detective right here.
Good afternoon. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in
This
this
light I got is a little weird, man. I can do it like this.
I do.
Let's go.
And if you please state your full name and then spell it for the record.
Darren, D-A-R-Y-N, Dupree, D-U-P-R-E-E.
Thank you, sir. Whenever you're ready, state
Who killed Tupac?
Sir,
Damn it.
how did you used to be employed?
I'm serious, man. I need to know what happened myself, bro. Who killed Pac? Damn. And why, man?
Detective for the Los Angeles Police Department.
How long were you with the LAPD?
33 and a half years.
And when did you start?
In 1990.
And through the majority of your career, what kind of crimes did you focus on?
Homicides, gang homicides.
And I direct your attention to approximately 2006. Were you asked to be part of a task force related to the Christopher Wallace murder?
Yes, I was.
And can you describe that task force for us?
Robbery homicide, homicide specials, Los Angeles Sheriff's Department, FBI, ATF, and DEA were all a part of the task force.
And was there a...
Okay. So they had all these people on the task force investigating the Biggie Smalls murder. FBI, DEA, ATF. And still no one has been arrested for it. No one is in prison for it. Nothing. We still don't know what happened with Biggie Smalls. I guess he has some information about it, though.
Precipitating event that caused the 2006 task force to be formed.
Yeah, Christopher Wallace's mother filed a lawsuit against the Los Angeles Police Department.
And what was the allegation in the lawsuit?
That there was police officer involvement in his death.
LA police officer involvement?
Yes.
And what was the purpose of the 2006 task force?
To uncover, first of all, if there was any police officer involvement, and also to hopefully solve the Biggie Smalls murder case.
Now, by 2008, this is...
Yeah, right. And let me get this right. Y'all were unable to solve it. So they put some police to investigate whether or not police killed Biggie Smalls, as if they're going to come back and say, yeah, the police did it. We know that they cover up everything. So you are on a task force to illuminate what happened to Biggie Smalls. And we're unable to do it. We still don't know what happened. We still don't know if the police did it. Or did you conclude that the police had nothing to do with it? But you still don't know who did have something to do with it.
7 years after the homicide, I assume that there was records that the LAPD would have gathered initially in the investigation in the ensuing 11 years that you had access to.
Yes.
Did you guys, or did the task force formulate a plan as to how you were going to go about investigating the Christopher Wallace murder?
Yeah. There was rumors that this was a war between Southside Compton Crips and Mob Piru. Puffy Combs label Bad Boy and Death Row Records. So we started there, and that consisted of coming to Vegas, getting all their files, getting up to speed on the Tupac murder. Although we weren't investigating it, we just wanted to get up to speed on it. And then starting there, everybody was a suspect at that time in Biggie Smalls murder.
At the time you come to Vegas and learn what information the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department is, who is the detective that you're having the contact with from Metro?
Detective Dan Long.
At some point, you go back, you begin investigating. Did you have any suspects that you identified and wanted to potentially look at?
From the initial investigation, Southside Compton Crip possibly had something to do with the murder because they weren't paid for the Tupac murder, and then also Death Row Records, that they were involved because of the retaliation for the Tupac murder. So, like I said, everybody was a suspect at that time.
During the course of the investigation, did you at some point focus on a person identified as Duane Davis?
Yes.
Do you see Mr. Davis here in court today?
Yes.
You point him out, describe something he's wearing.
He's at the fence table with a blue shirt and a multicolored tie.
May the record reflect the identification of the defendant.
Is he wearing a jacket or no jacket?
No jacket.
I keep me looking at him though. Dang. Whoa. So this is the cop. He was a cop for 33 years since 1990. Apparently retired, maybe 23, or he said 33 and a half years. And he's investigating the Biggie Smalls murder. And he said that it was one of two things as far as their investigation was concerned. That Biggie Smalls murder was retaliation for Tupac's murder, or that the Southside Compton Crips were involved because they did not get paid for Tupac's murder. We all heard the rumor that P. Diddy is supposed to put out $1 million hit basically on Tupac, and they carried it out and never got paid. And so Biggie Smalls' death was retaliation for that, for them not getting paid for taking out Tupac. This is what he just said. This is what they're investigating. One of the two. It's either retaliation for Tupac's murder or you didn't pay us our money after we did what we were supposed to do, so we're going to take your boy out. You had to take this dude out for $1 million that we never got, so now we're going to take your boy out. It's one of the two. It said this 33 and a half year retired cop.
So reflected.
How is it that you target Mr. Davis?
The vehicle used in the Christopher Wallace murder was a Impala. Mr. Davis had an Impala, and they had impounded it early on in the investigation. So we started with him.
And did you have information related to what his position was in the Southside Crips?
I mean, we knew that Mr. Davis was the man with all the money in their hood, in their neighborhood.
Now, you said that you, what was your role in the task force?
I was the lowest level, bottom of the food chain detective. I was a gang expert, and I knew a little bit about the rap industry. So that was
That's how you got brought in?
yes.
The Southside Crips.
So you was a token Negro. Yeah, man. He got brought in because he knew a little bit about the rappers. Go get that black dude. Help us solve this case. What you know about Tupac and Biggie? I know everything. I can rap every song. Okay, yeah, we need you on the task force.
Did they have kind of two crews associated with them?
As far as I know, yes.
And one of those crews, the Burr Street crew, who was that sort of generally headed by?
It was Keefy D, amongst others.
The Glencoe crew, who was sort of the leader of that group?
From what we gathered, Darnell Graham.
How is it that you're going to go about investigating Mr. Davis for the Biggie Smalls murder? What's your plan?
I had never worked with the DEA, FBI. I was a homicide investigator coming in. So, above my pay grade, they tried to figure out a way to get leverage on Mr. Davis through narcotic sales. We would bring him in after we caught him with narcotics and see if he would work with us and give us information on the Biggie Smalls case.
Yeah, he gonna work with you.
Able to get.
He for sure gonna work with you. We saw that yesterday. He gonna work with you. He told on 20 people. Suge, Mob James, Buntry, Mob James's brother, rest in peace. Kevin Woody, Trayvon Lane, Zip, Fats, Reggie Wright Jr. Yeah, you're looking to get information from Keefy D. You're in the right place, officer.
Gather enough information to potentially arrest and charge him with narcotics.
Yes.
And how much narcotics are we talking about here?
From what I remember, it was PCP, a gallon, and a kilo of cocaine.
And with Mr. Davis's past criminal history as well as that amount or weight of drugs, what kind of sentence was he looking at for that type of drugs?
As
Oh,
I said, I was
God.
familiar with the feds.
I see where this is going, bro. He snitched again. Keefy D snitched again. Watch. Right? The officer is explaining that he's investigating the Biggie Smalls murder. He has a theory on what happened with that. They're investigating, and they were trying to catch Keefy D. He basically intimated that they were trying to catch him up in some drug stuff. They knew he was over there having money. As he said, he was the dude in this neighborhood that had all the money. They knew he had stuff sold up. We heard yesterday that he was getting fronted 200 kilos. They was fronting him 200 kilos. So yeah, that's a lot of money. That's a sack. That's a real sack right there. They catch him up on purpose with a gallon of the shizern, as he just said, and about a key. Now they want him to talk. They want him to talk about Biggie in order to get out of this. We know that, so this is 2006. We know in 1998 he was already doing all of this talking to get out of a situation that he was in. Said that Suge Knight had the north side of Compton sold up with drugs. This is what Keefy D said in the paperwork. Let's see what he says now.
System, from what I was told, though, that was a life sentence with the amount of drugs that were
A life sentence.
confiscated.
He facing life.
Once you've gathered all this evidence, do you do anything to indicate to Mr. Davis that you've got your leverage?
We met with him,
And who's we?
me and Detective Greg Cady.
And where did that meeting take place?
If I recall, it was at Mr. Davis's residence, maybe in Rancho Cucamonga or Corona. I forget the location. And we sat in his garage and we advised him of what we had. And we get an attorney and we'll meet with you a couple days later in LA at the Fed building and we'll discuss it more.
Now, was there a suggestion to Mr. Davis that he shouldn't use a lawyer by the name of Edie Fall?
I don't know anything about that.
Does there come a point in time when you wind up at a meeting with Mr. Davis and his lawyer?
Yes.
And that first meeting, what are you there to talk to Mr. Davis about?
To show him the evidence that we had against him, the video surveillance that we had, we did a lot of surveillance on him, to show him everything we had and what he was looking to receive as a case against him.
And so do you eventually wind up in a meeting with his lawyer in either the lawyer's office or a police station to talk to him about that?
I think that first meeting was at the AUSA's office in downtown Los Angeles with him and his attorney and about 4 or 5 people from the task force.
And was there your understanding as to what the circumstances of what you could and couldn't use against Mr. Davis about what he's talking to you about?
Yes, and again, I'm just in the room. I never even been in the AUSA's office at that time, so I'm just observing what's going on.
Did anyone use the term "this is a proffer"?
Yes,
And was that agreement between the AUSA? Do you remember that AUSA's name?
Timothy Seawright.
And do you remember the attorney for Mr. Davis? His name.
Wayne Higgins.
And so there was an agreement in that first meeting that this would be a proffer.
Yes.
And during the course of that, do you ask Mr. Davis about his involvement in the Biggie Smalls murder?
Yes.
And what is his response?
At that time, he said, no, we didn't have anything to do with that.
When he said we didn't have anything to do with that one, did that trigger anything in your mind as to what he was saying?
From what I recall, yes. We were like, that one, what do you mean? And then he
What was
said,
it?
we did the other one.
He said we did the other one. And so at that point, what did you think he was talking about?
You know he's talking about. The fuck?
Me personally, the only other one was Tupac.
Duh.
But we had nothing, we didn't think he was, we were talking about Christopher Wallace. We didn't ask him any questions about Tupac. He offered that on his own.
And so when he does that, is there some discussion then of maybe having a conversation about Tupac?
It was a surprise to us. Number one, we were shook. We were surprised. Yes. I mean, I don't know if we shut that meeting down then to discuss what we were going to do. I don't remember, but we were surprised.
Does there come a point in time when there's a meeting set for December 18th of 2008 to talk to Mr. Davis about the Tupac Shakur murder?
Yes.
In your understanding, was that still based upon the agreement between Wayne Higgins and the U.S. Attorney that it would be a proffer session?
Yes.
At that point, before having this conversation with Mr. Davis, has anybody notified Las Vegas that Mr. Davis is going to be talking about the Tupac Shakur murder?
Unfortunately, no.
Were you present on December 18th for an interview with Mr. Davis about the Tupac Shakur murder?
Yes.
And did you subsequently learn, or previously learn, but subsequently learn that that conversation was recorded?
Yes.
Do you know who recorded that statement?
One of the members of the task force, Bill Holcomb.
Did there come a point in time where you heard that recording?
Yes.
And Judge, I have marked as state proposed exhibit 117, which is the actual recording, and 110, which is the transcript of that recording, and I'll form it this time.
Any objection?
At this point, currently we're still lacking foundation with regards to that. The answer, the question that was asked was like, do you recognize the recording?
Okay. Do you want to play
I can play part of that
The
recording
first
for Detective.
a couple seconds and see if he recognizes it?
Yeah, there's
Not
some
gonna be-
walking in time, so we'll just have to pull it
when
forward.
people actually talk.
Yeah. just jump forward. Hopefully. My volume off?
People or his associates, that's not a concern to us.
Yeah.
If you had told Mike, we would have talked to him. We wouldn't want to talk to him.
Okay, another.
Does that sound like the conversation that was happening on December 18th, 2008 with Mr. Davis?
Yes.
And who was present at this besides yourself that you recall?
The lead detective, Detective Greg Kading, he was mostly in charge. Bill Holcomb and me. That's all I can remember.
Was Wayne Higgins present as well?
Wayne Higgins was there, and so was Mr. Davis, of course.
And do you recall where this conversation took place?
It might have been at Wayne Higgins' office.
As I once again re-offer 117.
Yeah, so they got, I mean, they have it on tape. They have Keefe D on tape. They, of course, they recorded the conversation. They're there to talk to him, as we just heard about Biggie Smalls' murder. And he offers up, well, I didn't do that one, but we did the other one or whatever. Everyone knew what he was talking about. Of course, we all did too when we heard that. And so he's ready to give it all up. And they are recording this conversation. And apparently, just like he did on podcast, he's going to get into details about what happened on that fateful night. Apparently, that's what he's doing. That's what he's going to do on this recording. We'll pick it up in part 2. The recording and see what Keefe D said in this recording regarding this. And again, he already pointed the finger at someone else for Biggie Smalls' murder. He may still discuss that as well. He just said that he did not do that. He didn't want to take any credit for that or have anything to do with that for whatever reason. Maybe it was because he didn't have anything to do with it, but he was quick to take credit for the Tupac murder while sitting there speaking with the police. They pressed play on the recorder, and let's see what he did. He spilled the beans one way or another. And now, of course, he's saying that he did. He said his defense is, at least partially, that he did the podcast, the interviews, and admitted to the murder of Tupac Shakur during these podcasts only for money, that he was exaggerating, that he had nothing to do with it. He just did it for the money when he did these interviews. People were saying that he was involved, he just went with it and did it for the money. And the same with his book, where apparently he admitted to everything in his book. He said that he's not the one that had written the book, that he had help writing the book, and they just put that in there, same thing, to get money. This is his defense. But that, okay, doesn't necessarily explain why you would tell the police this. I understand why you would write a book, then do the interviews for money. The police, they're not giving you money. Well, obviously, I guess his life's on the line. I guess that's the reason. That's an incentive. They didn't call him with a gallon of the stuff and a kilo. And according to the detective here, or police, whatever the hell, he was facing a life sentence this time because of his record, I suppose. He was facing a life sentence with that amount. So, yeah, let's see. He got to singing some more. That's what he did. He got to singing like a bird. We'll pick it up right now in part 2. Subscribe to my other channel, The Unwoke Culture. The link is in the description of this channel, The Unwoke Culture. I'm over there every day, all day right now. Channel is doing okay. It's thriving. We'll see. I'm about to press play. I'm pressing play over there. That's for sure. And I'm on people's heads. Someone said in the comments, man, how you put the Mexican Mafia in your title? And what did they say? The Mexican Mafia, man, he got 200 kilos. If they got 200 kilos to front him, this is not just some average Joe. They probably got thousands. If they just got 200 to front him, And same reason that they put Crips and Bloods in their titles, I can put whatever I want to put in my title. Which is just some old sacred that can't nobody even mention it. You gotta whisper when you mention them. Get out of here, man. I ain't worried about all that. So let me know what you think in the comments. We'll pick it up right now, part 2. I don't want to go on too long. You know, people be telling me sometimes my videos are too long. I wasn't planning on going this long. I'm just going to have to do parts to it because I'm trying to keep up with it. I'm trying to bring it to you. I don't know about what the views is getting. I don't really care. Obviously, I have other content that I can get to. We all know that. I do all kinds of content. But if I'm going to be doing a Tupac murder trial, then it's going to be a thing where I'm just having to stick with that because in order to keep up with it. So I might just have to do this all day. I mean, we'll see, regardless of what the views do, really. I'm interested myself to know what went on with this situation, what went on with Tupac Shakur. Rest in peace to Tupac, rest in peace to Biggie Smalls as well. So we'll pick it up right now, as I said in part 2, and find out what went on in this conversation that Keefe D had with this officer and the other officer, Greg Kading. I remember Greg Kading because he had written a book. I read the book when I was in prison regarding this situation. He pointed the finger at Suge for Tupac's murder. But so he sat down with Keefe D. He's just been talking. Duane Davis, the defendant here on trial for the murder of the beloved Tupac Amaru Shakur. He's been talking since at least 1998, and he hasn't stopped talking. And he started talking again, as we're about to hear, in 2006, snitching. And he didn't stop there because he started talking on podcasts and in books. The man just can't shut up. We'll see if it costs him his life or not. We'll see. We're seeing what the prosecution is going somewhere with all of this. That's for sure. And I'm going to try to keep up with it because there's a lot going on. Let me know what you think in the comments. Keefe D. In dire straits right now. The defendant. Officer testifying about their conversation. He's investigating Biggie Smalls' murder. Keefe D just says, hey, didn't have nothing to do with that one, but we did the other one. And then proceeds, apparently, to spill all of the beans. We'll see what he had to say, as I said, in the recording, and what the officer has to say, what his takeaway was from the interactions that he had with Keefe D back in 2006. Stay safe and stay free, people.